Hi guys, welcome to lesson 4.9, viewing and organizing your responses in Google Forms. So this is a form that I've deployed. This is last year's in-service pre-conference form from the Technology in-service day. So as you can see, I'm on my form here, the questions that I had for folks. And then right next to it now you can see the tab that says responses, and you can see that 61 people have responded to that. So I'm going to flip over to the responses tab. And there's a couple different views that you can see. The first thing I want to show you is in the responses, as you deploy your form, you want to make sure that we've got this accepting responses. I can turn it off where it doesn't allow any responses, or it's on. So we want to make sure that that's on when you deploy your form so that people can fill it out. If you want it to stop collecting responses, then you can flip that switch to off, and then people won't be able to fill out the form anymore. I can see here a summary. I collected email addresses on this. I can see who has responded. I'm on summary right now, so what I get is this pie chart of the different responses for those questions. And so I can see them highlighted here. If I hover, I can actually see how many specific people, not just a percentage, have responded to those. So that's the summary screen. I can look at question by question. So for example, I'm on question 1, which is session 1, and then I can see how many different people. So, Chromebook 201, 25 people. And if I want to click on that, I can actually see a list of all the people that responded that. So that's kind of a question by question breakdown, responses. So right there, there's all of question 1's, and then I can flip it over to question 2. So you can kind of really drill down question by question on those if you want. And then the last tab is individual. So I can go through and I can see each individual person's responses. So right now I'm on Mr. Road Armor, and I could go through and I could see Mr. Road Armor's specific responses, and then I can either drop down on those folks or I can move through. I can also have the option here to print those responses for those individuals, or I can delete it. So you may have something where if you only did one response, somebody fills it out and accidentally submits it, or maybe they didn't do it correctly. If you have only one response, they can't get back in. So you can come in and you can delete their response, which then would allow them to get back into the form. The second part of this, if you don't want to use it in this view, you can actually download all of the responses to a Google Sheet. So right up here, they've got this green Google Sheets icon where we can create the spreadsheet. So I'm going to click that. It's going to ask you at the very beginning, you can create a new spreadsheet, or if you've got an existing spreadsheet, you can do that, especially if you're continually downloading them. So let's say you download them once and then more people respond, you want to download again, you'd want to select that existing spreadsheet to just go back on top of the original one. We'll create that, and it's going to pull all of the responses in a spreadsheet form. So you see here, we've got a timestamp of when the person filled it out. We collected email addresses, so who it is, and then we've got their specific responses to each session. So this is a good way then to get a picture of what's going on. Because it's then a Google spreadsheet, we could come in here and we could say we're going to sort. We could sort them this way. We could create filters where we want to filter out specific things. We could come in here and we could sort individual columns, see who's going to do Chromebook 101, whatever it happens to be. We can come in here and do this, and so now we see all of session 1. Okay, here's all the folks that are going to do Chromebook 101. Okay, we did that same thing over here in this view, but that's just a spreadsheet, which might be easier, especially if you're trying to do some sorting or some tabulating, an easier view to get those. So that's looking at the responses from your Google form as well as downloading those responses into a Google Sheet.